Paper looks fantastic, but they're not having any result. So to have this constant dialogue and relation on the ground, to get out of the presidential palace and to be there, to get out and visit hospitals, different places, and to see if the policies you have put in place are really working is essential. But also because, as I tell you, it provides people the space and the possibility to share with you their concerns, to share their disappointment sometimes, because sometimes things don't work great, and to know. And also because I remember once when I was just Minister of Health, a minister told me, I have a meeting every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. And they were having shortcomings in a lot of things. Because my advisor tells me that everything is great because he doesn't want me to know he's not doing it right. The other guy says it's great because he doesn't want me to get mad, etc., etc. So, I mean, for me, for example, loyalty was to tell you when things are not going well, because that's what you need to know when you have to make decisions. But the third thing, of course, is, as also Ellen mentioned, is that when you ensure economic, social, cultural rights, and now we should include, of course, Kristalina, environmental rights, climate justice, and of course, digital rights, access to internet, etc., etc. So, I mean, you need to work on all of this, social security. But in my personal experience, I mean, in my country, we had a dictatorship for 17 years. So when I was not the president at that time, but we need to rebuild democracy. We need to ensure rule of law. You need to fight corruption. You need to, of course, ensure elect representative, but also you need to ensure that all institutions are strengthened, so people can have credibility that democracy is the best way. It's not a perfect way, but it's the best way. And of course, all the social services that people need and deserve. In concrete, what I had, an example that I can show is that I had to deal with the crisis at the end of the last economic crisis, and we said, I mean, and we have copied, if I may say, the Norwegian model on a sovereign fund. Then, because of copper, with copper prices were very high, we decided this sort of biblical phrase that it says that in the times where the cows are fat, you have to save for the time that the cows are slim or starving, if I may say. So we did that. We created this sovereign fund, thinking that we needed to, I don't know the right word in English, but it's to sort of unlink, if I may say, the economy evolution with the social services. I mean, that it shouldn't depend that the economy is good, that you can continue providing social services. So that's why we created the fund. So when things were good, we wouldn't use the fund, but when the economy was weak, we could use that. And we developed a social protection system with lots of things. And as you know, I work also as a chair of the social protection floor in ILO, and now ILO is promoting universal social protection, and they have calculated that if you have a package of main issues from maternal benefits of the child and pensions, a couple of things, it is not more than 1.4% of GDP or something like that. So I think that that's one of the main things we did. We tried to ensure that people, I mean, not the poor people will suffer because of a global economic crisis. The thing that I learned, though, because there were people from Ministry of Finance who did that in that great plan, the economy defined as the 5th best in the world to deal with the economic crisis, not in terms of amount of money, but in terms of concept. There was nothing about gender, and every intervention was only thought for men, so then we have to correct it immediately. So I mean that because you need always to think on all the different aspects to ensure that you are reaching the people you need to reach, the more vulnerable one. And finally, another area that in Chile was important, and in many places is important as well after conflict, is how you ensure that justice and truth, justice, are in accountability when you have had crimes against human rights are ensured, because otherwise this I would say injury in the social body when things are not addressed can be also an important source of conflict in the future.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. I'm a big fan of what you have done to bring this rational approach to well-being of people based on sharing resources of today with the future when it may be tougher, but also making sure that social protection makes the society more, makes it fairer and therefore likely to have more unity. And now I want to ask you both a question. You are a sample of a very small number of women leaders. And when you spoke, I don't know how the audience felt, but I could hear themes that come across.